Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This evening I'm off to the Harold Pinter Theatre for the very last play in the Pinter season, which is Betrayal, starring the one and only Tom Hiddleston. Yep, I can't quite believe it either. The actual Loki from, of course, the Marvel films, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to see the show. I've already heard lots from the first preview yesterday, but I'm attending the second preview, and I really can't wait. The last time I was at the Harold Pinter was for Danny Dyer and Martin Freeman, which was wicked, and I'm very much looking forward to attending Betrayal tonight. So without further ado, let's go to the Harold Pinter Theatre to see Betrayal. Woo! I've just arrived at the Harold Pinter Theatre. I'm super excited to see Betrayal tonight. I can't wait. I love Harold Pinter. He's a great playwright and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this. It's got a very, very special cast and I'm super excited. So without further ado, let's go inside and get the tickets. Woo!
Yeah, he did.
So we are just sat in our seats. I didn't realise that row F is actually the very, very, very back row of the balcony. It is very high, but it's raked quite well, and also we're on the end with one from the end, which means that if we want to get out, we can. We have zero idea what the play is about, which I'm kind of excited about, aren't you? And we're hoping to see Tom afterwards, which will be great. There's also some really great co-stars in it too. I can see in the programme their names are, because we like to credit the co-stars also. Woohoo! Getting there eventually.
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox. The other lady I recognise from television. She is Zawe Ashton. I think that's her name. Zawe Ashton. So looking forward to seeing them. We shall see what happens, but that's the 5-minute bell now. So looking forward to seeing the play. Yay! So I just got back from seeing Tom Hiddleston in Betrayal at the Harold Pinter Theatre, which is part of the Pinter season. Got quite a few thoughts on the show, but I thought I would talk about my seat. So first of all, I was in F4 in the balcony, which is obviously the very, very, very last row, and there was also standing room only behind me. It was very cramped, not much leg room, I have to be honest. So if you're going to buy those, it's cheap for a reason, but you could still pretty much see everything. There was just points when Tom was at the very back of the stage at the beginning of the play when he wasn't really saying much that you couldn't see him, but the majority of the action was towards the middle and front of the stage, which you could see fine from the balcony. The only thing about the balcony is if you do suffer kind of from vertigo or you don't like heights, then don't sit up there, as it is very, very steep. I would say one of the steepest I've kind of been in the West End. So yeah, it's not raked very well. It's like very, very like straight down. So if you're not very good with heights, that's probably not a good idea. And I would, if you are going to get cheaper ones, get the standing room only ones rather than the seated, because the seats are very cramped in the balcony, and I just feel like you get a better experience from standing up because you can see a lot more. You can see over the heads, and also obviously there's no kind of like, oh, I'm cramped, I'm stuck. And I don't really like that kind of claustrophobic feeling when I'm in a seat. It's much better to have the reassurance that you can get out if you need to, or you're on the end of a seat, which is of course row 1, which would have been seat number 1 on the very right of the row. Anyway, let's get talking about the play itself. The plot of Betrayal integrates different permutations of betrayal relating to a 7-year affair involving a married couple, Emma and Robert's close friend. It's a 3-person play, and Tom Hiddleston plays Robert, Zawe Ashton plays Emma, and Charlie Cox plays Jerry. And essentially Emma is the lady in the middle of all the action. She is very much at the forefront of these relationships, and there is some kind of like short kind of tension between Robert and Jerry, so Charlie Cox and Tom's character. And essentially they both want a decent kind of girlfriend or wife. Both been married, both kind of met different people, but not necessarily happy in their relationships, and this is where Emma comes up. So Emma is actually married to Jerry, who's played by Charlie Cox, and they're not very happy, and essentially she kind of goes off with Tom's character Robert. They have a very long affair, and that's kind of the main storyline. It's a very abstract play, so you kind of hear different perspectives on different stories. So it starts kind of ahead of time, and then it goes back a year where you find out the story behind a story. There's lots of gossiping, there's lots of things that they don't know amongst each other, but they share them through the grapevine. So it's very problematic. It's a very problematic play, and these relationships aren't very happy at all. Now, I'm sorry if I've interpreted it wrong. Obviously it's open to interpretation, but that's how I saw it. So it's basically two guys and a girl. Both guys are friends and ask how each other's partners are. The girl sleeps with them both, so she sleeps with them both, and it's like Tom also sleeps with his friend's girlfriend. So his friend is Jerry, so Robert goes off with Jerry's partner essentially. And towards the end we see a child, and we don't know whether this child is Tom's character's Robert's baby or whether it's Jerry's baby. We're not sure. We are under the impression that it's Jerry's, but there is also that suspicion by the way that Tom, who plays Robert, cuddles the little girl, that it might actually be his daughter. He might actually be the real father to the daughter. So yeah, we're not sure whose daughter the baby is, and that's kind of where we're left at the end of the play. But the whole show kind of moves quite swiftly. It jumps from voice to voice and perspective to perspective. Tom, who plays Robert, is a very kind of, I want to say, passive-aggressive character. He's very rude and kind of very sly, I would say, the way that he moves and goes behind his friend Jerry's back. It's, yeah, very, very, very sly. I would also say that Tom's character is kind of the betrayer as well, because he goes behind his friend's back and sleeps with his partner. Like, who does that? But as I said, it's a very long, drawn-out affair throughout the whole show. But the script is very clever, actually. I have to say, like, it's very jumpy, but it's got a lot of raw emotion in there. I have to say, at times, I did get distracted because I was so high and kind of needed to stretch a bit, and my neck did hurt a lot from like looking down quite a bit, but apart from that I really enjoyed the play overall. I have to say though, the acting wasn't groundbreaking. It was very television, so if you like that kind of thing, it's great. And Tom Hiddleston was brilliant as ever, especially if you enjoy his movies and his acting work. You can really appreciate him on stage. His eyes are piercingly beautiful, like even from the back of the balcony I could see them, like gorgeous. He looks amazing, and so does the cast, and as a three they work so well together. The chemistry is fantastic, and also I have to say the relationship between each three of them, you can tell that they've been in rehearsals for a while and that they've really built a relationship, if that makes sense. So that was really believable for me, which I liked about it. It wasn't too over the top, although I would have liked a bit more emotion, and I would have liked a bit more drama, because there was a lot of drama within the story. It would have been nice to have seen a bit more conflict, a little bit more aggression, but I guess that's the way the play is and the way that they decided to play it and the direction that it went in. And obviously I only saw the second preview, so obviously it's got lots of time to kind of grow. But yeah, no, I just thought as a trio they were fantastic together as a three. So let's talk a bit more about Tom's character, Robert. He's also, as well as being sly, he's very sexist. He makes some comments about women not being able to play squash with him and Jerry, not being very efficient, and that they should be at the kitchen and they should be doing things like that as well. And he also makes some comments about beating women too, so beating girls, and obviously that's a very shocking statement that he makes, and it leaves kind of the audience a bit aghast and very like, oh, where did that come from? Because it did kind of come out of the blue. It was very like, okay, now we see the real nasty side to his character there. Moving kind of into the basic set. The set was very minimal. There was a rotating stage, and it kind of went, so one circle on the outside went one way and the middle of the circle went the other, and that kind of, I guess, as it was moving, it was very kind of, I want to say, I don't know, it's got some kind of symbolism to the way their emotions and feelings are passing through to each other. And there was also a moving kind of I want to say door slash wall, actually, that moved from the back to the more forward, when it was 1 year before. There was also a really funny restaurant scene as well with one of the other actors, which was played by Eddie Arnold. So he played the waiter, and he's also the understudy Jerry, but he was very funny. He was Italian, and he runs in and kind of says a few comments, and it's just very funny because they talk about going to Italy and Venice and dreaming of those places, and Eddie, the waiter, turns around and goes, do you know that painting? It's famous. Do you know why it's famous? They're in a London restaurant. Because it is Venice. See, that's a picture of Venice. It was very funny, and I really enjoyed that kind of moment, because it was kind of a heart-to-heart between Robert and Jerry and the relationships and what they were going through. And yeah, there was a lot happening, and it was hard to kind of take on board everything they were saying. but as I said, it's a really enjoyable scene, and I kind of liked that lifting of the spirit before it got dark again with the daughter and the sex and the relationships. There are some steamy hot scenes as well. Tom does share a kiss, so Robert does share a kiss with Emma, so Zawe as well. Basic set and lighting, it was very minimal, the lighting. It was very much just your white light, and that kind of went in and out, and then there was some lighting and movement forward. There was the like all the Pinter season plays have had like little projections to say Betrayal at the start, and then 1 year earlier, so it's got a time frame. It gives you those in the projections too. There was minimal music, so in between some of the scenes or moments they had a little bit of music which kind of set the tone. Again, if it was a bit dark, if it was getting a bit emotional, then there was a little bit of music there too. But yeah, I thought kind of in places, obviously because it's kind of the way that Pinter goes, I like the way they used repetition. It was kind of very secular, the way it went around from the start to the ending, and it was very cleverly done in that respect. But yeah, I think overall I really enjoyed the show. It was a great play and really awesome opportunity to see such talented actor and well-established actor in London's West End. So thank you so much to Jamie Lloyd, the company, for bringing this to West End and bringing Tom Hiddleston to London. It's very exciting. I love that. I've loved the Pinter season and I've had a fantastic time, and I'm really grateful that I was able to see the show for only £18 thanks to London Theatre, which was wicked. I managed to get in on the first day of release, stress-free, and got them through official London Theatre, so I was very happy about that. Yeah, so really great performance from Zawe, Charlie and Tom, and of course Eddie as the waiter. It was a really cool cameo. So yeah, I had a great time tonight at Betrayal. I also managed to get my programme signed, which I'm very happy about. I'm going to show you very quickly on camera. So this is inside the programme. We've got nice headshots there of the actors and understudies, and on the back here Zawe, Charlie and Tom have very kindly signed it, so you can see just there. Very pretty. I love their autographs. Very nice people too. So it was really great to meet you guys. If you do watch this, I don't know if you will, but huge congratulations to everybody involved. I really enjoyed the show. Please bear in mind that I only saw the second preview, so obviously they've still got lots to do. They're kind of getting used to the audience atmosphere and kind of how they're staging it as well. A quick word about stage door, as I know a lot of people are going to be asking. Now you have to understand that obviously because of intense rehearsal schedules and obviously performance schedule, they're not always going to be able to stage door, but I was very lucky to meet Tom and the rest of the cast. They do come out, they line you up. People with a ticket get priority kind of entry in the queue, and they lined up, and Tom very kindly wanted to sign my programme, so he signed my programme and did a selfie. Security did say though autograph or selfie, but it was Tom that said to me, oh, I'd like to sign your programme, so he signed my programme and then was very happy to take a selfie with me. So I was very lucky. I was first in line. I left during the bows, and that was how I got escorted by security. He said, did you just see the show? And he escorted me to the front of the queue, where Tom then came out and I got to meet him, and it was great to meet him. I got to tell him how brilliant it was, and I really enjoyed the play. It was great to meet the cast, but obviously please understand that if you are going, it's not a meet and greet. Security did say it's not a meet and greet, and there is a chance that he may not stage door because he might want to go home, might want to get some sleep. He's actually got a dog there. I saw his dog before the show. I think he had somebody looking after his dog, and obviously if he wants to get to family or friends or whatever, they do have a social life outside of their working life as actors, so do remember that. I was very lucky tonight to have met him. I think he must have done about 20 to 50 people, I'm not sure, around that number. Can't say for sure, but his mum was in, so obviously his time was limited. I would say he spent a good half an hour, 40 minutes signing and meeting as many people as he could, but the line was literally round the theatre, and again, it's not a meet and greet, and he wanted to make sure he met people that saw the show. So obviously go and try, line up, just be extra vigilant, be extra respectful, and listen to everything that security has to say. Every time that a security has told me that a certain actor is not leaving the stage door, the chances are that they are not leaving the stage door. They don't want to see people and they just want to go home, which is fair enough, and rest, because obviously performance schedules are very intense. But yeah, no, I went to see Kit Harington in his play True West, and security came out and said that he wasn't going to stage door, and he didn't, so I went home very happy. Still enjoyed the play, and a lot of people have this expectation that they should stage door, but obviously please remember that they may not stage door. Don't go with the thought that you're definitely going to meet somebody, because there's been so many stage doors where I've not been able to meet somebody because they just wanted to go home after a show. Like, you've paid to see a show, you've seen them in the show, which is special enough. So I was just super lucky, and I'm super grateful to Tom and the team for being so amazing. His security is awesome, super organised. Just please be reasonable and nice to him, and they'll be nice back. Obviously no guarantee that you'll see him, But I really do hope that you get the chance to meet him like I did when you go and see the show. But if not, I really hope you enjoy seeing the show. If you do get the chance, don't forget that ATG are also doing a kind of lottery every Monday online for £15 tickets, so don't miss that. They also do returns, and as I mentioned before, they do standing room only. So yeah, check those out. Just really enjoyed the Pinter season, so thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!